Everybody, welcome back to IHOLDSHIFT television. YouTube? Radio? I don't know. We'll kind of do it as we do. I'm IHOLDSHIFT here with you guys, and I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit more about Realm Royale and its potential place in the world of all of these battle royales that have been coming out and continue to keep coming out, as we learned, at least as of today, one of the first days of E3, in the near future. Hi-Res Studios, most popularly known for their work on Smite and Paladins, has entered into the battle royale scene with Realm Royale, which was originally going to be just a straight-off Paladins Battlegrounds game. Now it has its own brand, its own function, and well, everyone seems to be losing their mind about it, at least for now. Still in technical and open alpha, you can find it on Steam. It is free to play. It brings a very unique element, introducing classes to the Battle Royale system where you can jump in as a variety of different roles. A lot of people had a lot of things to think about it, including Summit and Ninja. Let's see what Summit had to say.
I mean, two things can happen. This could just be a fluke of a fucking game and it's just popping for now, or it could just be dope and people are starting to get into it. I personally think I'm more into this game than I am into Fortnite right now.
A couple of bold statements there. And the real question on everyone's mind, at least so far with its recent popularity on Twitch, is will this game kill Fortnite? Of course, the colossal Western World Battle Royale made by Epic Games has been dominating all social media platforms and channels, and has even seen status with the introduction of celebrities playing on Twitch with famous broadcasters, and news coverage even picking up its sudden and seemingly quote-unquote overwhelming growth in the last year specifically. Of course, one of the more popular streamers debuts Realm Royale recently was famous Fortniter Ninja. What did he have to say about his experience?
Next big thing or what?
I don't know about the next big thing, dude. This is, it's a lot of fun. It's really refreshing.
Oh, shoot, really?
That's a warrior, yeah, dude.
Dude, okay. Okay.
Right. Daniel Pat, thank you for the $10 donor. How come that you're not playing Fortnite? Are you done with that? Yep, I'm never playing Fortnite again, guys. I'm on a different game, man.
I mean,
it's
dude,
over.
Clearly a Kappa. There's no way he's never going back to Fortnite, but the fact that both Summit and Ninja, amongst other top streamers like Lyric, Shroud, and of course Tim the Tatman, have all seemingly enjoyed Realm Royale. So the question is abounding. Is this game potentially in a spot where it could take over Fortnite? Well, in my humble opinion, I don't necessarily think yes. Especially with how many games are coming out in the Battle Royale style over the next couple of, well, we'll say years, especially in the next immediate months. I don't think that there's really going to be one over the other necessarily as far as being the dominant game in this particular genre. Now, does that mean that there isn't space for varieties of instances of Battle Royale games? I don't think so. That's the case whatsoever. And to be honest, Hi-Rez has hit something very unique in a timing that, well, to be completely candid, is actually very favorable to them. The Battle Royale scene is obviously huge right now, and a lot of games have offered their own variety at it, going whether it be cartoony, realistic, futuristic, science-y, doesn't seem to make a difference. This new Battle Royale, Realm Royale from Hi-Res Studios, has taken a very different approach with a sci-fi fantasy style game that puts the player in control of their own elements by choosing a certain level of class. We'll look more into what those classes are in other videos, but for the all intents and purposes of this video, why not just say a couple of things briefly about it? You can pick up weapons, which is of course like any Battle Royale as you loot through towns, but beyond that, you can also pick up different class-specific abilities. Well, let's go one step further, why don't you? It's not just abilities that you can pick up that help your character perform in-game, but you can also pick up a variety of different armor sets for your character that can potentially yield different bonuses depending on the type and rarity of that armor piece. That's not enough for you, is it? Well, how about the ability to also craft or forge straight legendary pieces towards your character by utilizing one of the many different forges around the map? These forges can provide you with either a class-specific legendary weapon, a legendary set of your armor that you might be missing, or one of any of your playable abilities, again, at the highest level. The amount of customization that has gone into the Battle Royale that Hi-Rez has made has really taken a lot of people by storm. It's something extremely unique. It's not just an art style or a play style that makes it different, it's the whole core mechanic of the game in itself. You can see here, there's a forge going on, and that smoke means someone is already forging stuff. And how about this? Not just getting down like normal where you stand still or crawl, you get turned into a chicken. Another little comical relief way to kind of allow Hi-Rez to put their own personality and flair on the genre without really making it look like anything else that's out there right now. Now, in the past, Hi-Rez has been on the receiving end of a lot of flack for their games quote-unquote stealing from other major contenders in certain genre-specific games. Of course, the biggest talking point was the side-by-side comparison of Overwatch to Paladins, but also games like Smite potentially taking elements from major Juggernaut MOBAs like League of Legends, Dota 2, and Heroes of the Storm. Now, does this mean that Paladins and Smite were just the first instances, and now Realm Royale is finding itself in the same category as quote-unquote copying Fortnite or PUBG? I can't honestly sit here and see how anyone can draw that comparison and say, yes, they absolutely did. Over the past year, the Battle Royale scene has seen such a surge of unique ideas to the core mechanics of new titles, straying away from the more traditional standard tactical royales like H1Z1 and PUBG, and are leaning towards Fortnite's more wacky lab of content ideas. Realm Royale hits that niche, certainly, but in a much different way than Fortnite has. After playing it for a handful of hours, I'm honestly lost on how anyone could legitimately make the claim that this game is comparable to Fortnite, with the exception of the genre itself and the current rarity values assigned to the weapons. Of course, a lot of the game mechanics and gameplay elements have been taken straight from Paladins, which of course got all of its meme heat for taking a copy out of Overwatch's book, and for sake of discussion, we'll just let that sit where it lies, not going to open up that can of worms. But this game has its own unique elements. Of course, there are rarities to weapons, which a lot of people will immediately associate as, oh, this is just Fortnite. But with the abilities and the chickens and the crafting and the amount of dedication going from forge to forge as the circle approaches, it definitely makes a very unique element. Even in the short couple of days that we've had this game out in alpha, we've seen Realm player numbers start from 125 all the way back down to 80. So as far as how many players are dropping in a certain particular game, we don't seem to have any kind of a response or an answer as far as what the overall goal is going to be. Of course, with a couple of instances where the servers were increasingly unstable, it was definitely an instance where you saw Hi-Rez coming together and trying to find a way to make their server stable in this unexpected rush of players, now peaking over the 60K mark in just 3 days. So, with that influx, will this game kill Fortnite? I don't think so. But, will it survive? Has it built enough of a player base already to make itself a potential contender? I think absolutely yes. On top of that, even though Hi-Rez may not be the mammoth company that Epic is when it comes to fueling out weekly content and $100 million total prize pools for its competitive scene, the one thing that Hi-Rez really has going for it is their ability to track and interact with their community on an intimate basis. Over the lifespan of both Smite and Paladins, the community teams and dev teams alike are always in tune with their player base and are really quick about making adjustments that are both favorable for the players, but also smart for themselves as a business. Such an example, the immediate introduction of solo queues after the new Reddit had trended more than a handful of threads regarding the want for solo drops. Beyond that, Hi-Rez just recently was able to prove their new capabilities of utilizing their brand new esports studio, that they can handle and facilitate top-level productions for both Smite and Paladins. So who's to say that the new Skillshot Media Studio can't be used to help boost coverage of Realm Royale? I definitely see this being a game that will really fuel Hi-Rez in the right direction, of course pending their potential changes and what kind of feedback they do listen to. But this seems to be one of the most put-together projects that has been launched in an alpha to date for Hi-Rez Studios, and that in itself deserves a lot of praise for an exponentially growing company. Now, I'm not just going to sit here and suck on the teat of Hi-Rez all video long. The fact of the matter is, Fortnite is doing so much, so well right now that it's going to be very difficult to compete with. However, Hi-Rez has already found themselves a very unique game and a lot of unique content that's being fueled into this project, and completely honestly, I don't think they expected this whatsoever. So as you move from here, you have to take a look at what does Hi-Rez do, where does their attention shift, and are they able to continue to sustain the content that players demand in this day and age, like Epic has been able to cater to, in their short amount of time that they've been up. Again, we have to reiterate that this is just a technical alpha. This game has gone through so many changes just since January when it was announced at the Hi-Rez Expo in Atlanta, Georgia, when it was Paladins Battlegrounds. That game is now completely changed into something very unique, very organized, and something that I think a lot of players will find a lot of enjoyment in. Of course, outstanding a couple instances of balance, which I'm sure will be talked about in future videos by multiple people. But if you're taking a look at this as an outsider and you're saying, why should I listen to IHOLDSHIFT about this? I've been around the Pyra scene for quite some time, specifically the Paladin scene as one of their commentators, and I have to say that looking at what Paladins was to what it is today, and the short amount of time that this game has been around to what it has come into in just a couple of weeks since the closed PTS testing to now open on Steam, there is a lot of promise here, and I think anybody who is looking to get involved in the Battle Royale scene will definitely find a home here. And beyond that, even if there is still a walking meme of, well, bad Overwatch players will just play Paladins and bad MOBA players will just go play Smite, a conversation that we won't even get an opinion on because it's not worth having here on this stream. The fact of the matter is, whether you are good, bad, or otherwise at Fortnite, this is a game that's going to stand alone and not really feel like a complete copycat. Yes, it's a little bit cartoony in its art style. Yes, there definitely is a third-person perspective, and when it comes to how you play the game, but with the mounting, with the looting, with the foraging, there is so much that is 100% unique that it's very difficult to sit here and say that one game will ever be better than the other unless you're looking at sheer numbers. Which, let's be honest, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're one of the fiends like myself who sit on Steam charts and say, okay, this game is trending upwards, what's it all about? Fact of the matter is, the best way to get an opinion on it, if you prefer it over Fortnite or PUBG or any other Battle Royale, is to simply download it. Download it today for free on Steam, give it a go, and why not check out a couple of the other videos that I put together if you're looking for some tips, tricks, and other gameplay footage to get yourself reared up and ready to go for Realm Royale. And to be honest, no better time than now. It's the very beginning of Realm Royale. It's sure to be a very fun and exciting journey with Hi-Rez, and I know me, for one, I'm excited to be a part of it in any fashion. Hopefully, you guys will be able to join me. Of course, you can find all of this content that you're seeing on your stream live on Twitch at IHOLDSHIFT, and you can follow me on Twitter at IHOLDSHIFT there as well for more updates and notifications when we go live. Until next time, though, we'll leave you with the ending of this game, and hopefully we'll see you all in the realm.